first demo of characters that I've created. I've decided that I'm going to do a demo for that, and I will probably do demos for other characters in the future. But we're going to start off with Thaddeus. He is a G2 render style compatible character for Reallusion, and what I would like to start off with is just showing how he compares to the default character. So basically, anything that the default characters do on Reallusion, that should be able to handle those same motions and facial expressions as well. If not, he may have a little bit more enhancements because I do try to give more sprites for each of the characters that I create, because the more sprites you have, the more expression and the more things you can do with that character. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out one of Reallusion's default characters. And I'll zoom in just a little bit more. And we'll start off with just a very simple animation. We'll do the enter function. So first we'll have Saul do it. And then we'll have that. I'm going to go ahead and rewind it back so they do it together. Great. And I'll just have them do one more. Do some ballet. Just so you can see them at different angles. One more time to the side view. So they look great. Also, like I said, he's render style compatible, so and color palette compatible as well. I'll just pop in a couple of colors. So this is the neon one. Just for fun, we'll go ahead and put Saul in it as well. So as you can see, he blends in perfectly. I believe I have the color palettes installed in here. Yes. And what this allows you to do is just hit the paint bucket tool, and they will take on that same color scheme. So in this case, this colorful shades of blue, they both will take on. So that is very much so compatible with Reallusion's G2 characters, and again, you should be able to perform the same gestures and functions as you can with them. So I'm going to go ahead and create a little clean slate, and then let's bring that back in. And I would like to go over some of his facial sprites, because to me, that's what I like most about all of the characters I create. I try to have them have as much emotions as possible, so you can get more out of your animation. So I'm just going to zoom into his face, and let's make that afraid. So let's go into his facial expressions and let's get his scary or scared look going on. Pop in the scare eyes, and let's go with this mouth expression. Now, to me, this is already a good look. You can clearly see that he's afraid, but what I like is when you bring up the motion key editor, and this is how you know you will make them look from left and right. Now, I can make him look that way, but to get more out of it, you can kind of have him look and his eyes roll over at the same time. Now, to me, that brings out more. And if that wasn't enough, I like to sometimes shrink the eyes just a little bit to really show how scared he is. Now, once again, do a little bit of the rotation, and of course you don't want to max it, this is beyond distortion, but if you're doing animation and you want him to kind of shake a little bit or nod a little bit, you definitely got a suspenseful look going on here. Let's bring them back to normal, his eye expressions and stuff, and we can just try another one. Maybe more of a goofier style. Let's have one eyebrow go up. The other one. Let's try this. And for his eyes, let's go with. He looks like a little puppy dog. And again, you can rotate this and he will maintain the same look. So those are facial expressions, and just to do a breakdown, because I'm not really sure, looks like that has 38 mouth sprites, 13 eye sprites, and 18 eyebrow sprites. So combining different sprites, mixing them up, can definitely generate some really cool animation. Let's quickly make him angry. Let's see how he looks when he gets upset. Give him the grunt look. Let's kind of zoom in just a little bit more. And I mean, don't be afraid to manipulate your sprites. I do it all the time. If I think I want the mouth to be bigger, blow it up a little bit. Really bring out the emotion that you're trying to bring out. Having it tilted from left to right. It's up to you to bring out that character's facial expression. So the last thing I wanted to cover, and I will just do another clean slate, is some of the props that comes with that. And since that is kind of nerdy, naturally I went with a few books. So we're going to work with this book today. We might do a side view as well if I have enough time. But let's go ahead and bring that back in. Now, anyone who has purchased my custom hand grips know that I personally love them because you can do a little bit more realistic animation with them. It's all on how creative you want to be. So in this case, let's bring this book in front of him. Actually, let's give him a chair too. Let's go ahead and find the classroom scene. chair in there. Sit there, let's have a seat. And see if I can make this guy sit down some. Not too far. Not the look I was going for. Alright, so that's kind of the look I was going for. Just, there we go. Alright, that's better. And you know, you're too old to have your feet dangling like that, so let's go ahead and put your legs down. But you can definitely have him kick him up and down if you prefer to. But in this case, we're just gonna have his legs down. Look like he can turn up just a little bit more. That's better. And I can see some of my joint masking. It's up to you. Sometimes you want them to show and sometimes you don't want them to show, but you can really modify it at any time. For now, I'm just going to leave it alone. We're going to bring the book back in and we're going to shrink it to a decent size. And with this animation, because you can put the hands on the handle on each side of the book, I'm actually just going to hide Thad's hands that he currently have out kind of in his lap. I think that would be easier to do. So let me grab his arm. Do the same thing with the other arm. Just bring it up and kind of hide it in his lap. Now, some of the other props that came with that is the hand grips, and grip, object 2 grip is probably the best one for holding this style of book. If I can get it right. I'm gonna bring it up front. And of course, his hand is a little too big. Let's get it more of his size. Definitely want to link it to the book. And create another copy of it. Flip it. Rotate it. Let's get it to the right angle. And then let's go ahead and slide him over and shrink him. That looks nice. And of course, go ahead and link that one as well. So now they're both tied into the book, and wherever the book goes, they should go to. And of course, just to make it look more realistic, so that he's reading the book and not looking at us, we can turn his face down. I must have one highlighted and not the other. Let's fix that. There we go, that's better. So there you have it. If we have enough time, I can also do one with him walking around with a book. Let's just once again create a clean slate and bring that out for the last time. And have him turn over to the side. For this one, we're going to go into the character composer, because what we want to do is have the book be inside of his arm. So from here, let's go to your props, and we're going to go with book 2, and we're just going to make sure it attaches to this particular hand right here. Don't worry about the size. All of that stuff can be manipulated once you're back out on the stage. I selected. Alright, so first thing we want to do is shrink that book and rotate it so that it's facing in the direction he will be holding it. That's better. And I'm just gonna zoom in so we can get a nice close up of that. And then the next thing you want to do is highlight the book and go ahead and go into the layer editor. If you hold the command button on your Mac, I'm not sure which button it is for Windows, but if you select all three of the features on the left side of the arm, you want to make sure it's sent to the front of the book. So now the book is inside those layers. And we probably can shrink it just a little more. And from there we can manipulate where we want it at. Now for his hand sprite, once again, I think a handle hand sprite would do pretty good for this one. So let's go with the handle grip one. And that does look pretty nice. And since we've changed the hand sprite, let's just move it up a little bit. And what I like to do, because this particular angle is not exactly the perfect side view of the book, but you can go into the prop editor and you can tweak this just a little bit more to give it a better effect. So now it looks much better to me. So now when you apply some motions, say for example that walking with the book, get him selected, looks great. He's ready for school or wherever he's going to go. And then from there, let's see if we can just pop in a quick scene. Buddy's got a school hallway. There we go. Bring it on just a little bit. And now you can potentially just have him walking down the hall. Uh-oh. Well, he totally changed sides on me, but let's bring him back over and just play that back out. And of course, naturally, you would do a move, so I'm not sure how many frames that is, but let's just say he does a really small distance. When you play it back, he can truly walk down the hall. So thank you very much for taking time out and watching the demo of that. Like I said, he's one of my favorite characters, and I hope you you love him as well. And be on the lookout for additional new characters and character demos. I'm going to try to do more of these so you can get a more up close and personal feel of my characters and the animation you can do with it. All right, take care.